reunited. So good.
Should I add that in?
If you want.
You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zach.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
And I'm sorry. This is Zach, and I'm sick.
Welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink whiskey
And talk about it.
For everything Those Dram Yinzers, be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find our social media links, our Patreon page, the order form for our hats, and the link to Zach's favorite website.
Jon, are you talking about dramit.threadless.com?
Why, yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. Guys, you should really check this site out. It's pretty neat. They have like stuff and things that you can buy, and it's got like our logo on it and maybe more. I won't tell you though. You'll have to go check it out for yourselves.
Go check it out.
But I think it's pretty cool, and maybe it helps support your two favorite whiskey-loving dads put their respective children through college. So
That'd be nice.
help.
The current $11 racked up on there.
Hey,
not going to do it.
That pays for a half of a meal or a tenth of a textbook.
I was going to say, yeah, like 3 pages of a textbook.
Yeah. You can live in the dorm for 5 minutes.
If you're interested in sponsoring the show, want us to do an ad for your product, or would like us to try your product on the show, send us a DM or an email. Well, are you ready to get drinking?
If I'm not, then we're doing the wrong thing.
This is definitely, I'm telling you, you're going to wake up feeling so much better tomorrow.
Oh, I hope so. It's not even like I don't feel like awful. I just feel kind of gross. It's just my head's all stuffed up.
Mm-hmm.
So like my nosy notes today are going to be like, smells like boogers, you know?
Do you want the bourbon wheel?
Like, these
Well,
boogers.
hopefully with the 2 we're trying today, you actually smell something.
I hope
they're
so.
supposed to be very
yeah.
fragrant.
Yeah.
Fragrant.
We can say fueguant.
Fragrant.
It's like it's how my son would say it. Are these whiskeys fueguant?
Oh my goodness. All right, so today...
What flavors are they?
Today, we're just kind of, you know, as you're all aware, Zach took a hiatus in December.
I did.
It's a busy time, and I put him through a lot with the Advent calendar, but he's back now. And
Yay.
For our first one back, we'll just do a pretty basic review. We got some stuff lined up.
Hell yeah.
Some ideas ready for this year, so we're excited about some shows coming up. So today we're going to do a side-by-side. And I have a lot of whiskeys.
And not the TikTok side by side, just so we're very clear.
That's a duet.
I'm old.
A side-by-side of 2 that I've been kind of leaving on the shelf for a rainy day, as it did kind of rain a little bit today.
It's supposed to be raining right now, actually. It's supposed to
there
get
you go.
kind of poopy outside.
There you go.
One of my New Year's resolutions is to be less sweary this year.
There you go.
I got it all out before we started recording.
So today, our side-by-side is going to be Southern Tier Smoked Bourbon and Wiggles Smoked Bourbon.
Ooh.
Which Zach, prior to 10 minutes ago, didn't know that Southern Tier also made whiskey.
No. I was like, I love Warlock. Also, side note, they make a really yummy imperial ale around the holidays, frosted sugar cookie, which is quite delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of standard whiskeys, standard offerings, and they have a bunch. Then they just go crazy with the flavors and everything. You know, I was telling you earlier, they take pumpkin, distill that into a pumpkin whiskey. Yeah, that's my face too. And they do, but they also
I'm excited to try this one.
Yeah, they also do like cocktails in a can.
Oh, that's fun.
So they're like a whiskey and cola. Or,
That'd be a fun episode to do.
Yeah,
like a
I love
cocktail
those.
in a can episode.
Jack Daniels does them. Crown does it.
Cool.
I don't know if Jim.
Anyone who's kind of got like that flavor line of like whiskeys.
They're kind of just using that. Like for instance, Crown has peach iced tea. But they use a Crown Peach in.
Love a good
you know what I
peach
mean?
iced tea.
It's very good.
Oh my goodness!
Jack Daniels does like a whiskey fizz,
Ooh,
or apple. I'm sorry, apple fizz because they use their Jack
sounds tasty.
apple. Crown has an apple one. I forget what. Oh, it's the Washington apple, like the shot we used to take in college.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
a Washington apple. So but Southern Tier does those as well. And I've had a couple of theirs, and they're pretty good. They have like I think the whiskey cola or whiskey ginger is really good. But today I figured, well, I had both of these, and it would be fun to do them side by side.
Sure enough.
Mm-hmm. So just some stats.
It's a whiskey duet.
Southern Tier's smoked bourbon is 90 proof, and Wiggles is 92.
Ooh.
Wiggles is aged. Now, it's only $3.75. That's all they sell it in for Wiggle.
375 mil.
Yeah. 2 years aged, and Southern Tier, they don't have an age statement on here, so who knows? But
Who's to say?
so Southern Tiers. This whiskey is a Western New York homage to thick sweaters and an open-air fire on a cold winter day.
My people.
We start with New York State corn, smoked and chocolate malts, and then age the whiskey in new charred oak barrels with a number 3 char.
Did we say we're getting this from their website?
We are getting this from their website.
We're getting this from their website.
The end result is a gentle, smoky oak backbone with a smooth, spicy foundation and a sweet, lingering finish. We'll be the judge. But, like I said, that one's 90 proof. Wiggle gets a lot more detail with theirs than Southern Tier does. It just says smoked and chocolate malts. That's all it says. But Wiggle, made from their heirloom corn, 2 different types of smoked barleys. One with a mesquite smoked malted barley, and then one with a cherrywood smoked malted barley.
Oh,
Breakdown is 51% corn, 24% each of the 2 different malts. So mesquite and cherry. So they give a lot more details and aged for 2 years in their new charred oak barrel. Smoked bourbon has notes of burnt caramel, mesquite with a warming cherry wood finish. So we know which types of wood are being used for this one. It doesn't really say what this one is.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, even the side of the bottle doesn't say it for the Southern Tier. So I thought this would be interesting. We've had peated whiskeys right before.
Sure enough.
Which is, peated malt.
Right.
But
and then we've
I'd
had
be curious
whiskey
to see
finished in peated
whiskey finished in barrels. Yep. So I'd be curious to see how these work side by side. Maybe we'll throw a third in there at one point, but we'll see. So Southern Tier, and I feel like this needs to be stated because sometimes, depending on whether you believe this or not, Southern Tiers is already open. I tried it once, but it was like years ago, so I don't remember anything about it.
Mulligan.
Wiggles isn't open, so this is a fresh crack for the Wiggle. So not sure if that'll really play into this, but I do know some people think fresh crack. Fresh crack is usually hotter or whatever because it's not had
time to breathe.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's sexy.
There's and I need to do it. I haven't had a chance to do it, and I'm probably giving it away. Anyway, there is a video out there of this girl in a car going, "Name a better sound than this," and she holds up an iced Dunkin' thing and shakes it.
Yeah,
and of course everyone's coming up with all different kinds of things, but I want to do the cork,
Take that over an iced coffee any day of the week. Oh, man, I've heard it 3 times already. It's a great day, night, whatever time you're listening to this. It's just great. Last thing I had was some Mucinex at 7 a.m. this morning.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a little loopy because my head is super congested, and my dog decided that it would be a great idea to poop on the carpet at 5 a.m.
Nice.
So first thing I did this morning was clean that up, and then I just stayed up.
Yeah. We were at my parents' last week, and Herc knows, when we're home, he goes by the back door to tell us, he has to go out. Sure. And he knows, he goes out the back door at my parents' house to go out. Without warning, he disappeared into the kitchen at one point in my parents' house. I assumed he was getting some water, because that's where his bowl is. He comes back. He comes, kind of back. Now that I think about it, come back a little, quickly.
Oh,
and hops up on my brother's lap and just curls up like a cat, which he never does. And I was like, what is that? I don't know, whatever. He just wants to be cozy or whatnot. I get up to go into the kitchen and he pooped on the floor. I was like, oh, you were running and hiding thinking Uncle Matt was going to save you.
You jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doggos.
I've heard that. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I knew it wasn't Gus because he had his accident 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they both ate something in the backyard and it hit them at different times.
Yeah.
Because
Or Gus is just teaching him bad habits.
I don't know, man. But I knew it wasn't him because I had him in the crate last night because I was like, you're not pooping on my floor again. I was like, haha, I got this figured out. Then the one I didn't have in the crate goes and poops on the floor. I wake up and I go, Rosie. She does this thing where she's just kind of like, who's Rosie? Where's... She like looks around like,
Yeah.
is Rosie going to answer you? Like, I'm not Rosie.
That's not my name.
It's not my name. It's not my name. They call me, they call me.
All right. So let's do like nose one, nose the other one, and see how those compare.
Word.
Rather than doing the full of one and going into the other one. Like I want to just kind of like nose the two.
Word.
All right. So I grabbed Southern Tier.
Oh, I get that chocolate right away.
Yeah, I got a typical bourbon notes, right? The caramel, the vanilla, a little bit of oak in there. The smoked is kind of faint.
Yeah.
I get that chocolate that you're saying. Smoked is kind of faint for me. I kind of have to dig for it. You know, I was expecting more of a punch.
Yeah.
If you're going to call it smoked bourbon, I want it.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not peated, but like, I want to
smoke.
I want to get hit with this, you know?
Getting some apricot on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Yeah. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. 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 They're going to be like, you guys need to sing less and drink more.
That is standard wiggle nose. It's got that maltiness, right?
Is it just because I'm stuffed up? I'm not getting a whole lot of smoke on either of these.
I'm not. No, you are correct. I'm searching for it on this one, but all I get is just straight up standard wiggle.
That's all.
Which, if you've had enough, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You drink a wiggle, you can instantly be like, that's wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
I got more on the Southern Tier nose than I did on the Wiggle nose. Again, I'm all stuffed up, but they both had to cut through the same amount of blockage.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Southern Tier, I was able to get chocolate. I was able to get corn. I was able to get apricot. I was able to get a little bit of vanilla. On the Wiggle, I was able to get malt.
Wiggle. You were able to get wiggle.
That's all I got.
It's there. I'm sure we could bust out a standard wiggle and be like, oh, you know. I could probably grab that City of Champions and be like, oh, now I smell the difference, you know.
I
but
might
it's
not.
there.
Again,
well, that's you're also stuffed up.
I am compromised. We were just watching Parks and Rec the other day, and it was the episode where Chris Traeger gets the flu.
Stop.
And he's pooping. And he's like, my body is a fine-tuned machine, and if one germ gets in there, like a grain of sand, the machine breaks down. And then he gets to the germ and he's like, the machine's been compromised. And that's how I feel today. I'm like, the machine's been compromised. It's not a great machine, but it's mine. And it's the only one I have.
All right. Let's dive into these. I'm going back to Southern Tier.
Word.
That's almost like I get the smoke is there, but it's almost like a smoked pepper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's on the finish. It's not. It's
like,
not forward.
Like this is probably horrid to compare it to this, but have you ever had Dickel makes a Tabasco whiskey? Dickel makes a Tabasco whiskey. That's the type of like pepper I'm getting. It's like a smoked,
like a tobacco.
Yeah,
a Tabasco-y.
Yeah, smoked Tabasco.
Yeah, yeah. And this is going to sound gross, but I don't get the smoke until I let it sit on my tongue for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a Monty Python joke in there somewhere, I'm sure, but
no, it's there. It's still not as pungent as I was expected to be.
Yeah. I'm gonna want to try this again when I can smell it.
Actually, smell it. Yeah, I don't get too many crazy bourbon. Like, definitely tastes younger.
Yeah, it's a little.
Runs a little spicy and hot.
I was gonna say it's
for
spicy-ish.
90 proof.
Yeah, it's kind of spicy.
I just can't get over that smoked Tabasco note on that.
Yeah. Well, while we're drinking it, I'm going to talk about the bottle real quick.
So that makes me really wonder what wood they used to smoke the malts with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, yeah, it's Southern Tier's standard label, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the ST, you don't really see that on their beer bottles, but it's just, I guess it's their standard label for whiskey. I didn't know they did whiskey before today, so it's fine. I mean, the bottle, it's well designed. There's nothing super stand out about it. It feels pretty standard in terms of design, you know. But it works. It's good. If I saw it on a shelf, I'd probably be like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. I'd probably buy it." Based on the label.
Basically what I did.
Based on the label. Yeah. I mean, it's not like any kind of like crazy art or anything like that.
I think it falls in line with their beer bottles.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
it's pretty. You know, you can pick it out easy. It's well designed. It would catch my attention, and it's kind of nice. They've got a little bit of embossing actually going on with the S and the T and the Southern Tier Distilling Company. So it's kind of got a nice texture to it. When you pick up the bottle, it helps it feel a little. Anytime somebody embosses, it helps it feel a little bit more premium and not just like it's a wrapper that's slapped on there. And I like the color palette too, the golds and those kind of like cool grayish blues they got on there. Sits nicely against them.
I do love the color combo of, you know, because I'll have to look for it. Or maybe I gave it to my brother. I don't remember. I have another of their whiskeys down there somewhere, or used to.
Yeah.
And that color combo is that's for the smoked. You know what I mean? Like the other ones do. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on.
I like this color combo though, and it pops off nicely against the amber whiskey behind it. I think it's pretty beautiful. The colors going on. Like I said, the design feels pretty like if you think of like whiskey stereotypically, you'll probably think of something similar to this design. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm going to give it a gorgeous because I think it's nice, clean, solid design, and I like the label on the smoked more than the straight. But yeah, I know it's good, solid design, clean, and like I said, if I saw this on the shelf, I'd be like, oh, it looks interesting. I'll check that out, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna give it a. It's not my highest gorgeous, but it's a gorgeous. It's cool. I like it. I like
mean, it. It worked on me.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool.
I'm wondering if that smoked Tabasco that I'm getting is from whatever wood they used.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so gorgeous for this from me. Like I said, there have been other bottles that I've looked at and I've just been like, "Whoa, this blows my mind." But I think this one's very cool. And like I said, it would stop me in the store, and I would be like, "That's kind of fun."
They're also, I mean, why not do this? They're playing off of people know and love their beer.
Exactly. So I mean, the label is that makes total sense from a branding perspective.
Yeah,
it's actually a very smart decision because it is like very much in line with their brand overall.
Like if you would have walked
makes a lot of sense.
You can get this at the place in the North Shore, their restaurant in North Shore. You took a giant gulp of that.
Hot.
You took a massive gulp of that.
That was a lot of pepper.
Yeah. So you can get this there, right? So, I mean, if you and I hadn't done this today, right, and you went down to their North Shore spot,
I would have picked up a bottle
tomorrow, and you would have saw that they had some whiskeys. You definitely would have bought one. Just sight unseen.
Sight unseen. No, I would have been like, Southern Tier does a whiskey. I've
done
try
it
this
twice. Once for the straight bourbon that I showed you, just to do a comparison of labels, and one for the smoked. The straight bourbon was they make a whiskey, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I give it a gorgeous. All
right, let's jump to Wiggles then. That is a delayed smoke. You were talking about the Southern Tier. This was a really delayed smoke.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was really delayed. Up front, it just kind of tastes like their standard bourbon. Up front, I was like, it's Wigle bourbon.
Yeah.
I get the smoke on the end there. The smoke on the end's nice. It's sweet. Soft. It's a nice little surprise.
This tastes more like it's proof.
Yes.
Than the Southern Tier does.
Yes.
And this is 92. Wigle was 92 proof.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the second and third sip, the smoke flavor has made its presence known, so it shows up a little bit earlier on for me.
I'm still coughing.
That is more of a well-rounded smoke, where the Southern Tier was that spicy Tabasco smoke, you know. But I do get like some fruit notes, so like the cherry wood kind of thing they were saying.
Yeah, it's nice. I think this is more pleasant on the palate than the other one was.
That's what I'm saying. This tastes more like it's proof. This tastes.
I got a little more on that second sip that time.
Yep.
I got a little bit.
How it's already
that
there, so
cherry
it
wood.
just shows up more often.
I got a little bit more of that. The second sip was a lot nicer than the first one. I like that.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
No, I don't love the bottle.
Yeah, well,
It's
I mean, my untrained eye. This is a 375, as we said already. They smashed a lot of logo into that tiny little label.
Everything is stacked. Everything is stacked, and that's fine sometimes. But like, there was no reason to stack bourbon because now I'm just reading it bourbon.
Yeah,
I don't think that bourbon needed to be stacked. Smoked being stacked, that's
and they
fine.
don't
But it just, I don't know. It feels, you know what it feels like to me?
go.
I like the whiskey. I like the gold Wigle label on here.
I
That's
do.
embossed. That looks like a stamp. That is very cool. I like that. The rest of the label looks like
They tried to smash too much into a small
college sophomore
Comic Sans.
taking their first ever packaging design class. And I say this as someone who was a college sophomore taking their first ever packaging design class. And I look back on the stuff that I made in that class and I go, that was not good.
But look how you've evolved.
Yes, I'm just saying that this one made it all the way to production.
So
For
I mean,
$40 a bottle.
They had, I don't know. To me, again, untrained eye, they had the pieces there to make it happen. I mean, I personally like the charred oak, like inside of the wood barrel, like background.
Yeah.
And they do have that little like smoky, like in the bottom left hand corner. But yeah, it is very much just, it feels just like it's compact in there.
If it was me, I would have put that smoked char graphic on the inside of the wrapper. So that when
the
you
back
look
end.
on the back end, so when you look inside the bottle, it looks like the char is literally inside the bottle. That's what I would have done.
So next year when they do the next edition of this and they changed it, we'll know that they listened.
Yeah, I also would. I don't know. So
It's not their best label.
It doesn't get a gorgeous from me. It gets a meh.
Yeah. Have you seen, again, we can't go an episode without talking about it, but you got the spiked whiskey, right?
I love Liberty Pool's new labels.
The back label, how as you drink it, it's the like the drawing of like Washington. Oh my God.
And the white pops off on the liquid so beautifully. Chef's kiss.
And that's they're no longer doing those ones anymore. It's all moving to that now.
Oh, I know. I saw it in the store when I was there the other day. I was the only thing that's the same is the bourbon cream.
Right. Ooh, I have a fun story about that. Because, we got to do like a holiday recap, right?
Oh, yeah, we do.
I did not get as much whiskey-themed gifts as I thought I would. But
me either.
But I think everybody was like, yeah, you got enough.
We've seen your basement, John.
But so I bought, obviously, a couple bottles of the spiced, as we normally do, right? And I've gotten my dad on the bourbon cream train for a while now. Right?
Yeah.
My mom's been kind of like, I'm okay, kind of. Even though she loves like Kahlua and Bailey, she's like, And my aunt Lisa, my mom's sister, who lives in Kentucky, has had other of like the big boys that make them.
Yeah.
So on Small Business Saturday, my aunt was up, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta go pick up some bottles." And that was also the week they released their 3 single barrels.
Yeah.
And with the new logo and everything. And I was like, and I want to pick up another bottle. I said, do you all want to come with me? Because I'm going to go down. I'm going to drink. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to cup cocktails, like whatever. So like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we go down. My dad got the bourbon cream on ice.
I love your dad.
And he is trying, I'm getting tangent to my tangent. He is trying new whiskeys on his own. I forget.
I'm so excited.
Old Camp. I'll look it up here in a minute. His buddy found it's another flavored, but hey, he's trying whiskey, so I don't care.
Drink what makes you happy.
Peach pecan whiskey. I think Old Camp, Old something, Old Scout, something like that.
Peach pecan
Flavored whiskey. Yeah. I don't really get too much pecan in it. I just get peach whiskey. But anyway.
Interesting.
I have a bottle of Crown Peach, so that might be a good side-by-side. I'll have them bring it down next time.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. yes. That and then the peanut butter. We still got to do peanut butter with Dad.
I know. So anyway, so he gets his bourbon cream on ice. Moss and I get some one of their monthly cocktails, and I was telling Mom, I was like, "Listen, Mom, you got to get this root beer float." She's like, oh. I was like, no, trust me, it's with this, like you will like it. And she's like, okay, go ahead and order it for me, And like we're standing in the back, because they got tables back there, so we're standing talking, and they're making it. They bring it back to us, and while they're making it, she goes, "What if I don't like it?" And I was like, "Trust me, if you don't like it, I'll finish it." Yeah, I know I like it. If you don't like it,
there will be an empty glass.
Which we got an insider tip from Papa Huff.
Yeah.
Use A&W. They literally tested out every other type of root beer and every other one, which I've seen this too because I've done it myself. Curdles. Except A&W.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This just got interesting.
So anyway, so she orders one, and I forget what my aunt. I think my aunt just got a regular cocktail. I forget. She orders one. They bring it back, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is really good." And I was like, "I told you. I told you it was good." So she's like, "Here." She hands it to my aunt, and my aunt had tried the bourbon cream like by itself because my dad got it, and she said, "Oh, this is really good." And she was like, "Go order me one." So I walk up, and I was like, "Give me." They need another one. Give me another one. They're like, okay. So Tomas and I finished our drinks. Tomas is like, "I'm gonna go order one." So we ordered 3 root beer floats while we were there, and then Tomas and I were drinking Kevin and them were like passing out drinks, But
Dude,
but
that's legit.
So my mom looked at me after she like downs this and goes, "We are drinking this at Christmas." I was like, "Don't tell me twice."
They have the recipes on their website.
Yeah. So she was like, "I want this at Christmas. Let's get a couple bottles." And flash forward to right around Christmas, my dad goes a shopping trip down to the Strip. So he goes into Libations, gets 2 bottles of bourbon cream.
Nice.
To bring back. In a day and a half, they went through 2 bottles.
Oh my God.
He messaged me when we were coming up, and he was just like, "Do you have any more?" And I had bought one for my aunt for a gift for her. And he's like, "Do you have any more?" I was like, "I have the one I just bought for myself. Do you want me to bring it up?" And he was like, "Yes, please. We are out of ours already." And we almost went through mine.
Oh my goodness.
So I looked at him and I was like, "Okay, so next year when we go down around Thanksgiving,
right,
you're going to buy a case."
Right, seriously.
Because you'll go through it. Yeah. Because he puts it in his coffee on the weekends. Mom likes it in her coffee. Like, they love the floats. And my dad will drink it with just a ball of ice or something. Like my brother
like a White Russian.
Yeah, basically.
A pre-made White Russian.
So Thanksgiving, I bring up one of my bottles of, it was my grandmother's birthday. I brought up one of my bottles of spiced and the concoction to everything to make our famous Yinzer drink.
Yeah.
And which they stole from us, by the way.
Who did?
Liberty Pole.
Did they really?
They made something. Yeah, that no credit to us. Damn it,
guys.
It was like tweaked a little different, but he's like, "This is like yours." I was like, "Then call it that."
We called it the Dram Yinzer. Call it the Dram Yinzer.
So I,
we love you guys.
I had a couple of the spiced. Obviously, I always buy more than one, and so I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna leave this bottle here because we'll finish it when I come back up for Christmas, right?" And I said, "I have one at home that I'll just, if I want to drink between now and then, I don't care having multiple open." So I leave this bottle up there, right? And maybe the neck and a little bit below. Like, I'm not to the top of the Liberty Pole sign. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's filled up to the top of that, right? I'm not farther down than that.
I think I see where this is going.
So I'm like, Connor got sick on Christmas or like Christmas Eve. So we went up later. So I was like, we're not going to be there as long. I'm just going to drink the one that's up there.
Yeah.
I should have brought mine.
Whoops.
Because when I came back, there was maybe 2 to 3 fingers left.
No.
And I went, what? I was ready to turn around to Tomas and yell at him like, dude, come on, man. Like, you knew I was going to drink this. We were going to drink this at Christmas. And I was like, what happened to this? Again, ready to turn to Tomas, and Dad goes, I found that it's really good with ginger ale. And I was like, you drank this whole bottle? He's like, kind of. And I was like, oh my God, I'm mad, but I'm not mad.
He told me about that when I saw him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I've been drinking it with ginger ale. I was like, interesting.
Yeah. So I was like mad, but not mad because he's trying things.
Right. Like you love to see it, but like.
He is an avid, all of my life, avid Tanqueray man.
Yeah.
He has no Tanqueray in his house. It's all craft places that are doing gin. He has 2 bottles of Lucky Sign.
There it is.
Why did I blank? I don't know. Sorry, Christian. He has 2 different bottles of Lucky Sign. He has their Aquavit and their gin.
Nice.
He still has a little bit left of the Grace O'Malley that he got when we were when he did the Whiskey Fest with me.
Yeah.
He has I don't know if I've ever known this man to not have Tanqueray in his house at some point. He is like full on craft train when it comes to gins.
Woo woo!
And I love it.
That's so awesome.
He was like, why have you been like hiding it? I was like, I'm not hiding this. I want you to try this stuff.
Hiding anything. Don't blame us that the 80s were dark times for craft.
No, in the 90s and early 2000s, my dad was actually a Zima fan.
Oh.
And
what's Zima?
Malt, like a malt
okay.
beverage, basically. So like the Smirnoff Ices and all those.
Yeah.
Like the malt beverage before malt beverages were cool. Like there were no flavors. It was just clear. So my dad would take, put a shot of razzmatazz, or people would put like Jolly Ranchers in there, let them like dissolve before all the flavored ones came out now. But anyway, all right. I don't even remember what we were talking about prior to that tangent going off, but, we were talking about the bourbon cream didn't change. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so that was my fun little like, so basically I said to Dad, I was like, okay, so next year you're going to buy a case of the bourbon cream and you're going to split a case of the spiced with me. And he's like, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I got to start thinking about cases of the spiced. I do for real though. Because I always at least give away 2 bottles.
Which again, a case is 6 people.
I've given away 2 bottles already.
I gave one away. I gave one to Ryan. Kirk.
Yeah. I gave one to my cousin. We saw him over New Year's in Ohio. He likes whiskey. I brought some up with me. He drank it. He took a drink and he was like, oh, that's really good. He said, take the bottle home. Mm-hmm. I was like, not that I can get this one anytime I want, but I can get it more easily than you.
But they know to set a handful aside for us when it comes.
I almost reached out
for more.
And I was like, do you guys, I know you're sold out, but do you have any squirreled away that I can I could buy? Because like I am down to literally my last bottle.
Yeah, that's all I got left is what's in that one.
Yeah, I've got 1 full bottle and then 2 fingers of a bottle. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I had my team at work over here for the ones that lived local for like a holiday party.
Yeah.
And 2 of the husbands that had come with them were whiskey fans.
Yeah.
Not like enthusiasts, but fans of whiskey. So I was doing like a whole, like, we were just going through everything. Neither of them were driving, thankfully. So, and I gave one of them, or I gave them both the spice this year's.
Yeah.
And he was like, can I have another one of them? I was just doing little shot glasses, let them try it.
Yeah.
He's like, can I have another one? I was like, yeah, sure. And so I had a one-on-one with his wife who works for me. And she was like, he hasn't stopped talking about that. And I was like, well, they do ship in PA, and we pulled a site up together and it were already sold out.
You got to get on it. You've got like, you got like a couple, I can't even say a couple days. You got like 2 days.
Well, no, I mean, it's with them coming out at the end of October.
Yeah.
There's 2 surges right when it comes out and then right around Thanksgiving. So really between those times, you're pretty good. Post Thanksgiving, it's up in the air.
Yeah. I just remember, what was it? Maybe not this year, but like the year before, it sold out in like a week.
The first year they sold, because this is why it's off. This is batch
4.
5.
5?
5. But it's the 4th year because they did 2 batches that first year. The very first batch
that's
sold out in the weekend.
That's right.
They did a second batch
Yeah.
you know. But so
Man.
but anyway, so back to these whiskeys.
Goodness gracious. We're gonna get angry letters. They're gonna be like, "You guys can't go one freaking episode." No, we can't. We're not
All
sorry.
right, so we agree that the Southern Tier is hotter than its proof says. It's hotter than 92.
It's pretty aggressive.
That smoke is that the Tabasco-y. I don't know if it's the type of wood that they might have used. They don't say on their site. Wigle tastes like it's proof.
Right. Gets better with each sip.
Mm-hmm. Price.
That's what I was gonna say.
Southern Tier.
Yeah.
For a full $7.50.
Yeah.
A full bottle, like a fifth, is $28.
Yeah.
Which is why I looked at it and would go, I'll try this for under 30.
For
Yeah,
$28,
sure.
I'll try it.
Wigle for $3.75, 40.
I know where I am with this.
I'm definitely giving a downtown to the Wigle. Because for 40 for $3.75, you know, when I can turn around and get a, you know, this more Tabasco-y, you know, different.
Right.
Right. I'm between a downtown and a hash for the Southern Tier because it's different and it's under $30. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's worth a gamble if you think you might be interested in it. Now, for our bogger friends, no, there's no like peaty smoky. Like, you won't like this. You know what I mean? But like, if you're interested in something, I don't know. I can't pick. It's tough.
I'm downtown for both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm squarely downtown. Sorry, downtown. Downtown. I'm squarely downtown for both of that. No.
Yeah. No. You're right. Yeah.
Because the Southern Tier was fine. But I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I would drink it again because it was too peppery for it wasn't peppery like rye peppery.
No, it was that Tabasco.
It
must be whatever wood they used.
It was like Tabasco peppery. Like it wasn't a Kentucky hug. It was like a Kentucky kick to the balls.
Literally, I've had peppered whiskey or, like I said, Dickel makes a Tabasco, like the Tabasco brand, like the red and white, the green label whiskey. And that's what I get out of this one.
Yeah. I liked the Wigle more. I would drink the Wigle.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't want to pay $40 for a bottle half the size.
Right.
And again, it's not that I'm against. I know you could also argue, you're like, okay, well, you'd pay $70, $80, $90 for a $3.75.
I mean, a $7.50, like a full bottle,
or a $7.50. If it's like a Lagavulin or a Glenlivet or a I don't know, Basil Hayden or something like that. But so, you know, you're paying double price for the same amount.
Yeah.
You could argue that like, okay, yeah, this one's 28, this one's 40. It's half as much, but it's twice as good.
So
kind of a thing.
Theoretically, that would be an $80 bottle, and I would not pay $80.
But that's the thing. If you take it up to $7.50 and it's an $80 bottle, that's not $80 good to me. So
no, I gotta be blown away.
I would say that it's good, but you're better off enjoying it downtown
or at the distillery.
The distillery. If you really like it, you're vibing with it, get it.
I'm not going to stop.
By all means, get it. Whatever makes you happy. For me, I will enjoy it when I'm at the distillery. I don't need it in my house.
If we bump this up to if it was a $7.50 and they did sell it for $80 because I would spend the extra $10 unless it might have gone up and get the kilted over this.
Oh yeah, same. The kilted's better. Mm-hmm. The kilted rye is, in my opinion, still the best thing that they put out, except for the 2019 Northern Exposure was amazing.
They did another iteration of that.
It wasn't as good.
Did you try this year's?
Oh, this year's? No, I tried last year's.
Yeah, we had it on the show. Yeah. But they did another iteration of it this year, and I don't know how. I didn't get a sample of it this year, but
maybe I'll swing by there sometime next week when I'm after work, or maybe on my lunch break.
Yeah, you're right there,
and just get like a little tipple, a wee dram of that. Because the first one, I don't know if it was their first one, but 2019, that was when we interviewed them. Right?
That was
2019. It was before, it was pre-pandemic. That one that I tried, I was like, oh my gosh, this does not taste like a standard Wigle. Like the maple on it was just It was there was maple, vanilla. It was still malty,
was very good.
but it wasn't malt forward. You got so many other flavors in there. I thought it was one of their most complex, beautiful whiskeys they'd ever made. And
whatever last year was,
just didn't even hold a candle to it. I was so excited, and I don't think I've ever. This is going to sound really dramatic. I don't think I've ever been more let down because the first one was so good. My expectations were way up.
Mine were too.
And when I if that iteration had been the first version of it that I tried, I probably would have liked it. But I knew what I was missing,
right?
And I was really disappointed.
We had something to compare it to.
We did,
yeah.
And that to me is the best whiskey they've ever put out. But very close behind it, their best whiskey, hands down, is the Kilted Rye.
Kilted and the Deep Cut Bourbon
That's a good
in the group are consistent top two of people that do enjoy their stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. These were good. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was different. I'm glad we did it. You know, it's always fun. I'm never mad that I drank whiskey.
No. I think I was just expecting more smokiness to it. Yeah, I was expecting more campfire.
Especially when you look at Wigle's bottle. I know the bottle gets a meh from me. I'm sticking with that. But you look at that and the graphic on that says, I'm about to get kapow smoke.
Like it's there, but it's just like
it's smoke.
Any other final thoughts on today?
I was just excited to be back.
I missed
super excited. I missed you. I missed your beautiful face and your beard.
Mr. Musk.
I missed your scent.
The one
Miss you wrong.
advent calendar, when I did that one by myself, which I will never ever do again. I had like put like some like movie quotes in there. I was like, it sounds weird when it's just me. Like at least you and I play off each other. You know what I mean? It was just like, it's not like I was trying too hard. I haven't cringed at editing an episode at all because I'm used to doing it for work.
Right.
But I cringed. So I zipped through that because I was like, oh, this is so bad. I think I cut it down to like 16 minutes. Like it was just
gosh.
You know.
It's a little episode vitamin.
But all right.
Okay,
well,
thanks, bye. Did you want to do like a third little something or other, or did you just want to...
I was thinking of throwing in like
I mean, it would be like an unfair comparison.
Well, yeah, either the Kilted, the Scotch cask, or one of the peated from Liberty Pole. But that's when I was expecting more of a smokiness to this.
Right.
And because there was very light, I don't really think, you know what I mean, we need to.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, we have some good ideas for this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get back onto a regular schedule for you all. And, yeah.
Oh, there was another thing.
Oh, yes. You wanted to plug this. Go.
Okay. So, full disclosure.
Rob.
My brother did work on this. Shout out to Rob Walliver.
Woo-hoo.
Miss you, buddy.
My Ardbeg 10 buddy.
That's right. John needs his Ardbeg 10 buddy back. But he just completed a freelancing gig where he did branding for a brand new ranch water. And in case you don't know what ranch water is, ranch water is it's tequila, spring water, and in this instance, it's got lime and orange in it as well. So it's not like a seltzer. It's not fizzy. It's like a tequila water. It's like a seltzer without the bubbles, and instead of a malt beverage, it's tequila. And he brought some up last weekend when he was in town, and we all got to try it. I gotta say, I rather enjoyed it. I've never had a ranch water before.
Yeah, I didn't know what ranch water was. I'm over here thinking the dressing. I'm like, that's gross.
Oh, that would no. Yeah, like it's
like ranch, like
ranch, like Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't speak to this, but I think ranch water started in Texas.
That's the only place I've ever seen it.
And alas, this is called, this ranch water that he worked on is called it's called the Standard. So it's the Standard ranch water.
Nice.
Is the name of the product. Alas, we cannot get it up in Pennsylvania yet. However, talk to your local either state stores or beer distributor, things like that. Start requesting it, and they may be able to reach out to the Standard and see if they can start getting it out here. At least get word of mouth out there so people start knowing to look for it.
That's a good question. I hadn't really looked before because we were talking about canned cocktails because of Southern Tier. Can you get those? Can the beer distributor get those because it's liquor, or does that have to go through Fine Wine Good Spirits?
I don't know. I'm not sure what the Pennsylvania law would be.
Because I've only ever seen them at the state store, but I never even thought to even look for them.
Right.
When I was at the beer store.
So I don't know what the rule with that would be, but I would talk to your local Fine Wine Good Spirits. I'd talk to your local beer distributor, see which of them might be able to get it, or at least you could find out, how do we start getting interest in this going on. So I want to give a shout out for that because again, full disclosure, he's my brother. I love him. I support him in all things, but also it was good. It wasn't just like I'm gonna
did it taste like a watered down like margarita?
See, I've never actually,
I've
never actually had a margarita before.
Like a margarita on the rocks, but like the ice is melted. Like
it's definitely lighter. It would be a great summer drink.
Oh, for sure.
You don't get the fizzy in there, so if you don't like fizzy,
so you're not gonna your stomach's not gonna get like bloated.
No, I didn't feel bloated at all afterwards. I was able to taste the tequila. It was tequila that was watered down a little bit, but then it had that like nice like citrus in there with the lime and the orange. And so if you like tequila but you don't like it like straight, if it's a little bit too rough, because I'm normally, and here's the thing, normally I'm not a big tequila guy.
Me neither. The only tequila anything I've ever liked was Sam Adams one summer did a Mexican beer finished in tequila barrels.
Interesting.
And they discontinued it after that summer. And it's literally the only thing I drank
it's like
all
when
summer.
Netflix launches a new show that you love and then they cancel it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Netflix shade. No, I really enjoyed it. As somebody who doesn't normally enjoy tequila, I really enjoyed it. So I could imagine somebody who does enjoy tequila would like this, just like anybody who does enjoy kind of like, if you enjoy fruity cocktails, right? But then you're like, I don't really want all that liquor. So you go and you get a seltzer instead. It's kind of like it'd be like that kind of equivalent, I think. If you want to have a little bit of that freshness, some of that tequila flavor, but you're not looking to get like absolutely hammered. You want to be able to have a couple of these with your buddies. I would recommend. Yeah. So, and also I gotta say the label's pretty freaking sexy.
Well, I would assume so. If Rob made it, I know it
gets a gorgeous from me.
I mean, you're not going to critique it. Okay, so when we post about this episode, which I'll be taking a picture of the 2 bottles, the second photo can be...
Yeah, he's got some pictures of the standard.
That'll be our second photo.
The standard ranch water, TM.
Well, I guess there's only one other thing to say that I'm excited to say again.
Yeah.
Zachary, sir. Cheers to you, man.
John, my brother. Cheers to you, sir.
And
cheers to Yins.